Hey, Janair from Just Say Beauty, answering more questions. It's called Getting to Know You. Okay, um, what's something most people don't know about you? What could I say? I used to be such a potato chip, not only potatoes, corn chip, any type of chip, connoisseur. So much so, I knew which chips worked well with what type of meal I was eating. Yeah. So much like um, wine pairings, beer, whiskey pairings with meals, that's how I treated my chip. These days, I am not as chip heavy as I used to be. Um, because as you get older, you have to modify if you want to live and function. And I want to live and function. So I've cut back, and that's a whole other story. Anyway, so let me tell you some of my pairings as I was deep into my chip addiction. One of them, I used to really love homemade tuna salad, tuna out the can, some mayonnaise, relish, eggs, onion powder, garlic powder. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I would do. And then because I would douse my tuna salad in those seasonings, I didn't want a chip that had any super big flavors. So I would do, if I was really feeling extra saucy, I would do a salt and vinegar. If I was feeling like, pretty normal, I would just do a plain chip because all the flavor was in the tuna salad, tuna. So there's that. And then I'm trying to think. Oh, so turkey sandwiches. That was another thing I ate religiously growing up. So it typically was turkey, probably some type of cheese, like American cheese. It was type of cheese. In those days, it was American because guess what? You got like 100 slices for 20 cents or something like that. So American cheese, mustard, if we were really having a good grocery week, some lettuce, and I'm about to roll on some Doritos because that turkey. Although my sister would say is the best bird to eat on the planet, um, it was pretty bland. I don't care. It was smoked. I don't care if it was honey. Compared to my tuna salad, and like something like roast beef or something like that, it was pretty bland. I loved it, but it was pretty bland. So I figured I needed a little extra zazz a word. And I will put a good Dorito because Doritos are juicy. So I would put a good Dorito with that sandwich. Usually it would go inside of the sandwich, um, because that was important for that crunch. It was a texture thing. You got that nice soft wheat bread, that cheap, because it wasn't really wheat, it was white, but it was brown like it's supposed to be wheat, but it really wasn't that good. It was wheat. And then your turkey slices. And we didn't do that fancy. Like they got boar's head these days. Maybe they had boar's head back then. We ain't have it. Um, cheap turkey, cheap as mama could find because she was raising 3 kids on her own. And again, 100 slices of American cheese. It wasn't Kraft because we don't do that. 100 slices of American cheese for 20 cents and some mustard. Now, when my dad was with us, Ploshman's, the fancy mustard, because he was just a fancy guy. once he left, it was good old store brand. I don't know. I cannot remember the brand of mustard, but when he was, so yeah, you know, life was just a little different because he wasn't there. Anyway, so yeah, and then you throw that good Dorito knot, and I'm not talking about the off-brand Dorito, Aldi. I don't even know if they had the Aldi Dorito back then, because back then when Aldi was around, it was like you can get canned goods and ramen. It's pretty much all you can get at Aldi that I knew of. Maybe some canned milk, powdered milk. That's about it. No, there was no fresh produce. Maybe some cereals, a handful, maybe some hard bread. Like there was nothing. Aldi has come up. It's fancy now. I'm rambling again. I do apologize. But anyway, so back to my chip pairings. I'm saying I would take. So those were two: the tuna salad and either salt and vinegar. Actually, when I was growing up, it was salt and sour. I didn't know about no salt and vinegar. It was salt and sour. It was usually Vintners. Shout out to Chicago. And then uh, some plain chips. It was one of the two, plain or salt and vinegar, or salt and sour. And then for that good turkey sandwich, that good old Dorito. And it was real fancy if I got the Cool Ranch, because the nacho cheese was always flowing. But that Cool Ranch was a specialty back in the day. I'm old, y'all. I'm old. But it was a specialty, and when it came on the scene, it changed lives, including mine. It's my favorite Dorito. I don't eat it as often because it's expensive. Well, it's not expensive. I'm just cheap. I just get my Aldi Doritos. Um, Again, I'm rambling. I can't think of any other pairings. Those are the main things that I can think of. A flaming hot chip would go with pretty much anything because I'm completely obsessed with the flaming hot series. Um, my favorite one being that Frito, flaming hot Frito, and then my second favorite being that Funyun, the flaming hot Funyun. Um, I can go on and on about chips, so let's stop here because most of y'all don't really want to talk about chips like that. Most I've learned that very few people enjoy chips the way I do. Um, and so it's a lonely conversation. So I'm going to stop. So that was just something most people don't know about. Most people know that I love chips because I'm very vocal about it. But they may not know the pairings part because even though I've been out the game of pairings for a while, I can figure out a good chip to go with a meal because I pretty much tasted all of them. I'm proud of it. All right, that's all. Just Say Beauty. October 15th. Did I mention that? I don't think I mentioned that in my other answer. October 15th. Just Say Beauty is coming back on the scene. We have been in and out, on and off, trying to figure out life. October 15th. Just Say Beauty, making life beautiful.